Mom, 63F, on her deathbed from stage 4 cancer, exgf, 28F, broke up with me, 32M. My mom, 63F, was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer about 2 months ago, and it has progressed quickly since. She has been in the hospital for over a week and the doctors are unsure what the future holds. We could be looking at days. Things between my ex, 28F, and I, 32M, were going well before the diagnosis. The news came just after I returned home from visiting her. Immediately following the diagnosis, she was upset I spent so much time with my family. I made more time. She said we talked too much and gave me the silent treatment for a week. Hot, cold behavior and communication since about 3 weeks. I tried to talk to her about this and cried while asking her to support me after I had to call 911 for my mom. She called me selfish and said I ruined her day. She apologized recently and things seemed to be getting somewhat better. We even made tentative plans to visit for a weekend depending on how my mom was doing. She cancelled those plans on Monday, then called on Friday and broke up with me because she can't handle not being able to hug me during this time. I'm so lost. She wanted to connect in a couple of weeks and check in, said she would need to have boundaries around talking about my mom's death if it happened before then but was willing. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm feeling pretty unloved at the moment. Disputer saying this is just the distance. The distance was fine for 3.5 years and we had a plan to close the space which was just about to occur if not for my mom getting sick. She apologized for her bad timing and I was just flabbergasted. I don't want to feel like I'm abandoning you in the worst time. Well, you are. I don't know how anyone can be this cruel and heartless. I'm having trouble coping with 2 losses at the same time. How can I separate my feelings about my mom dying and my exgf? I want to be present for my mom. I'm writing this from the hospital cafeteria and about to go back to sitting with my dying mom and telling her things will be okay, but I am in pieces. Too long did not read. Mom on her deathbed. LDR girlfriend broke up with me saying the distance is causing her to want to hug me, and that she can't emotionally handle it. I've been asking for her support for weeks and gotten hardly any. I've been spending my days sitting with my mom and telling her things will be okay, but I am falling apart. How can I make sure to separate these feelings? Maybe put my ex outside of my thoughts until my mom passes. This is overwhelming. Sorry, but your ex-GF sounds like an absolutely horrible, selfish jerk. I know it feels horrible now, but if someone is going to bail on you because she can't be the center of attention for a limited amount of time, is she really someone you want to be with? There had to be red flags before this. Hey there. I was in a very similar situation a few years ago. I'm terribly sorry. Firstly, this is a tough time but it will be okay. My biggest regret is that I got so caught up in my heartbreak that I didn't spend enough time with my family and let myself go. What you're going through is unbelievably difficult. Take it day by day. Have empathy. Have empathy for the girl, she's clearly struggling to process all this trauma. Most importantly, have empathy for yourself. Don't judge yourself. Spend time with your family. Focus on that for now. Thinking about you op. Your ex is not a loss. Unloading her is a win for you. Take care of yourself. One of these people is important to you and matters. Focus on that one. Hint, it's not the person who said this. Immediately following the diagnosis, she was upset I spent so much time with my family. I made more time. She said we talked too much and gave me the silent treatment for a week. I'm so sorry about your mom. Put your focus on your mom. She's more important. Your ex can kicks rocks. I wouldn't bother wasting any more energy on her ever. 25F. My mom, 53F, sold my things while I was at work. My parents and I have been living separately for a very long time. Due to certain unforeseen circumstances, my mom had to move in with me for a couple of months. On our first day together, she accused me of watching porn because I didn't let her use my phone. Back when I was a teen, she tried to dissuade me from going to university. I had a full ride scholarship, because she never did. And when I was a child, she used to tell me everyone wants to swindle me. Except her, of course. Going through my things, getting the belt when I disobeyed, yada yada. She's that kind of person. Yesterday I came home early and found out she sold my tools to some guy. For cheap. Drill, grinder, everything, even the glue gun. Her reasoning? Women are not supposed to own stuff like that. Your arms are too weak and you're going to become too independent to marry. Opening parenthesis question mark question mark question mark question mark question mark question mark closing parenthesis. We had a huge fight, and she's spending the weekend at her sister's summer house. She's going to be back on Monday. I don't know what to do. Mom's sister called today and started chastising me because I used the expression, fuck off, in front of my mother, and that makes me a bad Christian. I asked her about Mom. She told me Mom thinks she did nothing wrong. I am the one who is supposed to apologize for losing my temper. Which, yeah, I shouldn't have been that loud. It's going to be 4 weeks before my mom can move out. I love her, but she tries to control me, assert dominance the moment I let my guard down. How do I make our time together feel less tense? How do I resolve the current conflict? Should I just pretend nothing happened? How do I make sure she doesn't pull something like that again? Too long did not read. Mom sold my tools while I was at work because she wants me to be a dainty little lady. I have to spend 4 more weeks with her in the house. How do we coexist in relative peace? Press charges for felony theft. She can sit in the pokey for 4 weeks. This sounds like it's your house, not hers. Kick her the fuck out. She is a guest in your place and should respect that space. She can figure out where she needs to stay or shape up. It sounds like she hasn't treated you very kind in your life, so why would you play nice with her now? Seriously, she stole your stuff and sold it and pocket the money. She should be reported to the police and charged. You are enabling her behavior by ignoring what she is doing. You're allowing her to control your life. Let another family member take her in and let her steal from them. I have to spend 4 more weeks with her in the house. Why? Is that how long it takes for a notice to vacate turns into an eviction in your country? You don't. She's made that impossible. Why you ever let this tyrant into your home is beyond me, but I'd advise you to not let her come back. I 30 female am seriously considering calling off my wedding with 40 male. I'm so angry and confused right now, so sorry in advance for any tying errors. I 30 female and my fiancé 40 male have been together for the better part of a decade now. We've been engaged for a while but have seriously started planning our wedding and are set to get married before the end of the year. We're currently at a friend's wedding out of state. As most weddings do, there was a lot of drinking and partying. We ended up in someone's suite with close to 20 people continuing the party. As the night got later, more people cleared out and it left us and one another couple. I was sober but my fiancé was very wasted. We had only met this couple at this wedding but we were having a good time. They were equally as wasted and I got the impression that they liked to experiment outside of their relationship. My fiancé and I have never had any issues with infidelity and have never discussed having an open relationship or having a 3-way or anything. My fiancé started to get handsy with the other girl and put his hands on her breasts and upper skirt. It was all mutually flirty but I sat there and watched it happen shocked. Then as we were leaving he hugged her and tried to kiss her. She denied the kiss but I'm standing there shocked thinking wow, he really tried to cuckold me tonight. So he's passed out drunk now and I can't sleep and I'm fuming. If it weren't for our own wedding I feel like I'd instantly break up. I feel guilty because our invites are out and people who'd be traveling out of state for this have already booked flights and hotels. I also have put a lot of money down on deposits. Am I dumb for thinking about trying to talk this out or do I cut my losses? How would I even go about informing everyone that the wedding is off? I can't with the disrespect. I wouldn't be able to go through with it. A cancelled wedding is a lot cheaper than a divorce. Run. Run fast. Don't look back, it'll only slow you down. Jesus fucking Christ, that's the worst thing I've ever read. Get the actual fuck out of there. Imagine saying, I do, to a guy shoving his hands up a girl's skirt before he marries you. What a disgusting human being. A 30-year-old dating a 20-year-old nauseated face. My 25F therapist says my boyfriend, 27M, is emotionally abusing me. My F25 boyfriend, M27, and I have been dating for over a year now. We have had some high highs and low lows. This started about a month into the relationship when he felt I betrayed and lied to him. He was heavily abused as a child and was abused in his last relationship, which gives him extreme traumatic baggage. During arguments he gets to a point where he screams and calls me names and says hurtful things. IHVE asked him repeatedly to stop this and he doesn't. I try to keep my cool during arguments but it's very hard when I constantly and verbally being attacked. Recently I have fallen into a bad depressive episode and have been taking more meds along with seeing my therapist and psychiatrist more. I have trying to open up more to them about the realities of my relationship, and during my last session my therapist told me that this relationship is showing heavy signs of me being emotionally abused. Him and I are going to talk tomorrow, and normally I feel like my feelings are dismissed in conversations like this. What are ways to appropriately and maturely say my feelings to him? I know they probably won't be understood, but I want to have some kind of idea of words in my mind so I don't immediately break down. How should I say this, and is it worth it to try even though I know it will end with us breaking up? Edit. My boyfriend does go to therapy. He had trouble with a therapist crossing boundaries in the past and recently has found a new one to speak to. Too long did not read. My F25 therapist told me that she thinks I am being emotionally abused by my partner, M27. Things haven't been good for a while and I need help on the proper way to verbally convey this. If his trauma makes him behave this way, he shouldn't be in a relationship. You are not being a good, supportive partner by putting up with this. You're being a doormat. Believe what your therapist is telling you. Ask them for advice on how to proceed. Listen to your therapist and also leave this man child. Your therapist is right. There's no magic way to make someone care about your feelings and not be an asshole to you. If being honest about your feelings means you're going to break up, then the only thing you say to him is, "We're done. Get out." I believe that when you love someone, you never actively try to hurt them. Yet, you do try to hurt me every time you get angry. You lash out, insult me. You are trying to hurt me so that you win an argument, I guess? Or maybe so I feel the same pain as you are feeling. And both cases are wrong. This cannot go on this way. You may not think it is a big deal, and maybe compared to what you've been through it is not, but it doesn't mean it is okay to treat me this way. That is not how a healthy relationship goes. You keep hurting me and resenting me for something that happened almost a year ago. Either accept it and obey on so we can have a healthy relationship, or we break up. What's the point of being together if you're just gonna resent me? There are men out there that will never scream at you. Just leave. It's his responsibility to heal alone. His emotional baggage isn't yours to carry.